Hello, hello, hello. It's me. I'm back. Okay, listen. Um, you know what came up for me today? So I was re-listening to Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh. I think it was book two. But anyway, what popped into my mind was this quote that he has in the book. Your soul doesn't care what you do for a living, and when you die, neither will you. Now, you could take that to be a bit morbid and a bit like, thinking about death, which actually I think about death, it makes life more realistic. It just makes life more enjoyable. That's a whole separate conversation. But the concept that your soul doesn't care what you do for a living really, really struck me. And I think it's important for me at the moment because I'm at um, this change part of my life where I'm coming to the end of a particular time, like a particular aspect of my career I'm coming to the end of, and I'm moving into a new aspect. And with change comes all kinds of uncertainty. Anyway, the idea that my soul doesn't care what I do just really gives me that reminder that what are my intentions? What am I trying to be? What is the experience that I want to live? That regardless of how I make money, and look, let's just be frank, we've all got to pay bills, right? Unless we decide that we're opting out of this society that we live in and we're going to live in a cardboard box and, whatever. And even if we do that, we still need to find a way to pay the bills. So then in that case, I'm only going to be asking somebody else to give me some of their money so that I can buy food, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you just can't opt out. You got to put food in the body to nourish it. You got to breathe air. You got to find your place for releasing toxins from the body. You got to go to the toilet, whatever. So my point is, we've all got to make money somehow. So but it doesn't actually, how I make that money doesn't matter as much as how I am being when I make that money. So that element of the intention that I set for my life, how do I choose to approach whatever it is that happens? Now, if you've watched enough and tracked enough of the videos on my channel, you'll know that I talk a bit about the idea that whatever has happened had to happen, and that if it's happening, it's necessary, it's part of your path, good, bad, or otherwise. And it's always easy to hear that when it's something that you enjoy, you want, all of that kind of stuff. It's not so easy to hear when, when one of my friends phones me and says my dad passed away. Of course, that's not an enjoyable thing, but death is part of life. But anyway, I'm not being for a second, heartless or whatever. But the grief of death is part of our process and is part of a reminder that everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. And so even the good things, it's temporary. Enjoy it while it's happening because it won't last forever. The rough things are temporary. Don't worry and don't stress yourself about it too much because it won't last forever. The only way that we try and make things last forever is when we hold on to them as a thought pattern and we go back to the memory and we play over again and again, this thing that person did or said that hurt me and how outrageous. Or we go back and we play over again the thing that person said or did that was amazing and I love them so much. Whatever it is, we only hold on to it in thought form. In reality, if it's not in this current moment, it has passed anyway. That is me really just going off on a slight tangent. So what I was saying is, yeah, your soul doesn't care what you do for a living, and neither will you. So what do I want to be? And then this element that if and not kind of aiming for happiness necessarily, because I think I've learned from Tolly, from his book A New Earth, that the chase of happiness is fruitless because really your soul's default position is happy. So really it's the chase of trying to release the shackles of whatever is covering up my happiness. So rather than chasing the happiness, thinking about, okay, well, if I want to embody this element that the universe is on purpose, is always on purpose, whatever is happening is supposed to happen, then what I can do for that happiness is release my judgment about what is happening. So if I've decided that what is happening is a problem, then I've covered up my happiness. If I've decided that what is happening is great, then, and this is going to be tricky, if I've decided that what is happening is great, then I've I've actually covered my happiness in an external thing, and anything external is going to go away at some point. So actually, although it feels like I'm magnifying my happiness, what I'm doing is creating for myself a future moment when I'll be unhappy. Um, I might do a whole separate video about this because it's quite an interesting concept. But anyway, so yeah, so basically, regard not trying to chase happiness, but just trying to think, how do I live more from my intention? How do I live more from the being that I want to be? I want to be a person who understands that the universe is always on purpose. So in that case, when the tough times come, when I'm not sure where the next money is coming from, in that moment, can I bring myself the understanding that I'm supposed to go through this? I'm supposed to have this uncertainty. Perhaps this is the uncertainty that spurs me into action and gets me to do whatever else it is that needs doing. Perhaps this is the uncertainty that helps me to know, go and get another job. Or anyway, yeah. Yeah, the universe is on purpose. The universe is on purpose. I feel like I've lost the trail of this particular video, but I'll listen to it back, and if there's more to be done, then I'll drop another video. I'll link it to this one and I'll bring it fully back on point. Anyway, I hope you've got some value from that. Drop me a message. Let me know like whether the rambling works for you or not. Okay, anyway, take care. See you soon.